What's up, guys? Here with the 11th shelf of my drama section. Starting off with Ghosts of Girlfriends Past with Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Garner. This was actually a very solid movie. I enjoyed it very much. It was fun seeing Michael Douglas in there too as Matthew McConaughey's father. This was when he was in his prime of doing all these types of movies, and kind of got away from it after this one. But very solid movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it before. Then we have Boiler Room. This one's a classic. I like this. This is, I wouldn't, it's kind of like a Wall Street movie, but not, because, it's a giant con kind of thing. But it's a great young cast. Very good storyline. Very well written. Very well acted. Ben Affleck in this movie as well was fantastic. If you have not seen this movie and you're a fan of like Wall Street or Margin Call or Too Big to Fail or something like that, you should definitely check this one out. Then we have The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. It was a good movie. I didn't think it was as good as 7 Pounds. I thought 7 Pounds was a lot better than this. But yeah, this was a sad movie. This was the first movie where Will Smith was trying to go for his Oscar. Then we have Failure to Launch. Again, Matthew McConaughey at his best here. Him and Jennifer Garner did very well together. This, out of all of Matthew McConaughey's movies like this was probably my favorite. Absolutely amazing supporting cast as well. Bradley Cooper in there, Zoe Deschanel, Justin Bartha, Terry Bradshaw, Kathy Bates. I mean, the cast is phenomenal in this movie. Then we have The Wedding Planner. Again, great movie. Absolutely phenomenal. Jennifer Lopez is a great actress. This is, I believe, Matthew McConaughey's first foray into the romantic comedy thing, at least when he got big. This is kind of what made him big. Then we have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. A great movie. Kate Hudson and him are hysterical in this movie. I love that. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it before. Then we have The Family Man with Nicolas Cage and Tia Leone. This is probably my second favorite Christmas movie, and probably one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies. Very well done, very well acted. Just a phenomenal movie. I could watch this movie over and over again. Then we have Fool's Gold. Reunites Kate Hudson with Matthew McConaughey. Nowhere near as good as How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but still somewhat amusing. It's worth checking out if you just want to see these two together again. Then we have United 93. Phenomenal movie. Very well done. Paul Greengrass does a wonderful job. Pays tribute to what happened. Very gut-wrenching movie. I mean, this was done right in every way. Then we have World Trade Center. This movie was okay. It wasn't what you thought it was going to be. You thought it was going to be, well, at least, I kind of thought it was going to be more of dealing with the whole 9/11 situation, aftermath, and as it happened. But, it was more of the people buried in the rubble, which was still a good movie, don't get me wrong. But it's just, not what I was kind of hoping for. Great cast, though. Worth checking out. Then we have The Social Network. Absolutely phenomenal movie. You must be living under a rock if you haven't seen this one before, because this is David Fincher at his best. Absolutely phenomenal movie in every single way possible. This would probably go on my top 10. Should definitely check this out. Then we've got Two for the Money. Loved this movie. This is another one of those movies I could watch over and over and over again. just a very, very interesting look into the sports betting world and the money to be made and how money corrupts people. Matthew McConaughey and Al Pacino do absolutely amazing together. Check this out for sure. Then we've got Invincible with Mark Wahlberg. I love a good inspirational sports story, and this is definitely that. Very well done. The sports scenes were very well shot. Yeah. I mean, the cast is phenomenal as well. I mean, not enough good things to say about this movie. Then we've got John Q with Denzel Washington. Very good movie. Denzel Washington in his prime right here, coming off of Training Day. But this was a phenomenal story, very well written. I mean, it's very rare that you root for the person taking the hostages, and you definitely are in this movie. Then we've got We Are Marshall. I love motivational sports movies, but this one was not that good, in my opinion. Matthew McConaughey kind of out of his element in this movie, I believe. And him and Matthew Fox didn't really blend well together, in my opinion. As for the rest of the supporting cast, they were great. It's just the two leads were just kind of meh. So, I mean, it's okay, but it's not great. Then we have The Great Debaters. Definitely not Denzel Washington's best work, in my opinion. It's interesting to see him and Forrest Whitaker work together. Denzel Washington also directed this movie, but it was okay. Then we have The Shawshank Redemption. Classic movie right here. This is one of those movies where when people say it's a classic, it's actually a classic. I mean, Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman do absolutely great in this movie. Then we have another classic, Dangerous Minds. Michelle Pfeiffer and the supporting cast of the people who play the kids are great. It's a very touching story, but gets you very into it from the very beginning. I mean, I remember when I first watched this movie, I only watched it because I liked the soundtrack. So I wasn't really expecting much out of the movie because I wasn't a Michelle Pfeiffer fan. But she does absolutely great in this movie. I'm very happy I watched it. Then we have Varsity Blues. I wouldn't call this a motivational sports movie, but it's in the sports vein. And with Paul Walker and James Van Der Beek and all these, great young cast and everything. Worth checking out. Absolutely hysterical story. Check it out for sure. Then we have Stomp the Yard. I bought this back when, Save the Last Dance was big. Things like that. Definitely not You Got Served, that's for sure. Better than that, but not as good as Save the Last Dance. Then we have Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis. This movie is hilarious. I love this movie. And the chemistry between these two is great as well. I mean, they had this and No Strings Attached come out in the same year from two different studios. And they're both kind of the same kind of premise in a way. And this was the better of the two. Then we have Remember the Titans. Now we're talking motivational sports stories right here. This is one of the best ones out there. Denzel Washington does phenomenal. So does Will Patton. I mean, you'll see a lot of young stars that become big later on. I mean, this movie, again, this is one of those movies that if you haven't seen it, you're living under a rock. Then there's the Gridiron Gang. Trying to be a motivational sports movie, it's not. I did not think this was The Rock's best work. You know, but when you're starting off in Hollywood and they offer you a starring role in a movie, you're going to take it. You know, Exhibit, only okay. Not great. Then we have The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. Love this movie as well. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Whitney Houston as an actress, but her and Kevin Costner do great in this movie. A lot of tension in this movie. A lot, you know, very good thriller, dramatic thriller movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it before. Then we have Antoine Fisher. Denzel Washington also directed this movie. And him and Derek Luke do phenomenal in this movie. I'm a big Derek Luke fan. You know, it's a shame that I haven't seen him in a lot lately, but would like to. Great actor. So is, you know, Denzel as well. Timeless. Great supporting cast. Great story. Definitely better than The Great Debaters as far as Denzel Washington's directing work. Then we've got Dirty Dancing. You know, classic as well. Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. You know, what else can you really say about this movie? I'm sure everyone's heard of this one. Check it out if you haven't seen it before. Then we have A Few Good Men. I love this movie. You know, if it's not Tom Cruise jumping around, you know, kicking ass or anything like that, this is a very good political, military thriller, court justice type movie. You know, Rob Reiner directing it. You know, Aaron Sorkin writing it and everything like that. You knew it was going to be good. And then with the cast, they deliver on all fronts in this movie. This I would definitely 100% consider a classic. We've got $1 Million Baby. Great movie. You know, deserved the Oscars it got. Clint Eastwood does very solid work in everything he pretty much does. Paul Haggis. You know, you don't really see him writing a lot of movies anymore either that I've really seen. But very well done. Then lastly, we have Invictus, another Clint Eastwood movie. It was okay. You know, I'm not a huge rugby person, so that part of it kind of lost me there. But still a very solid movie. Matt Damon's a great actor, so he'll try to spin whatever he can that's positive. So, same with Morgan Freeman out of what's in the script. But, you know, was what they had to work with. They did a good job. And that'll do it for this shelf. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. Otherwise, until next time, guys.